LTV viewers. You're watching the March 27th, 2025 edition of East End News on LTV. This is your community and your news. I'm Christine Samson. In today's show, we're going to talk about ways you can help your community, important news for the Amagansett School, and challenges for a local Indigenous nation. But first, our top story.
Abstain. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed.
Aye.
That was the official roll call vote of the East Hampton Town Board last Thursday, March 20th, on an amendment to the town code capping maximum house size in East Hampton Town. The change goes into effect on July 1st in an effort to rein in development and avoid overuse of environmental resources.
Whereas after considering the proposed local law and the comments received at the time of the hearing, the town board believes the adoption of the proposed local law is in the best interest of the town.
By a vote of 3-1 with one abstention, the town board has now capped house sizes at 7% of lot area plus 1,500 square feet. That's a reduction from the current formula of 10% of lot size plus 1,600 square feet. The dissenting vote came from Councilman Ian Calder-Piedmont.
I worry that we're going to hurt, working families and working people, and nobody intends to do that. I don't think anybody intends to do it, but I think, unintentionally, that will be the result, and so I'm going to be a no vote on this.
The vote came after multiple public hearings and almost 2 years of study by the Zoning Code Amendment Working Group, of which Jane Mehring was a member. The community may know Jane from her popular Instagram page, Build in Kind East Hampton.
I think it's really great. Sometimes public hearings get 1, 2, or 10 people, and this public hearing there's two numbers. There's 155 and 157 that I've seen quoted, but either one, that's a very robust. And I think Supervisor Burke-Gonzalez said it really well. She said, that's a mandate.
Overall, Ms. Mehring said, East Hampton has now set a good example for how a municipality can work together with its constituents to achieve change.
It's always been hard for boards to make significant changes to land use because, it's at the crossroads of a lot of other big issues like the economy and rates and things like that. And I think the town board did something very positive, very special, and really accomplished something that has proven to be a little hard to do. And that's because in this case, the public showed up and engaged, over a 2-year process. And I think that's hopefully a good lesson that engagement can really contribute to the discussion and the outcome.
Our friends at 27east.com were first to the story about the embattled Amagansett School principal, Maria Dorr. Jack Motes reports that Principal Dorr is back on the job this week after a New York State hearing officer ruled in her favor in a discipline case that made national headlines. The hearing officer ruled that the school district, quote, has not met its burden of proof that Ms. Dorr took a gift card meant for another employee at the school. Her suspension lasted more than a year and included 7 lengthy hearings weighing the evidence. Arthur Shurman, one of Ms. Dorr's attorneys, told 27 East that, quote, justice was served. Michael Wright at 27east.com broke the story on Monday, March 17th about a state judge handing down a temporary injunction attempting to stop construction of the Shinnecock Indian Nation's gas station project. The Shinnecock Nation is a sovereign indigenous tribe that has been building this new facility at its Westwoods territory for nearly a year as a way to support its economic needs. 27 East reports that tribal leaders have complied with the stop work order but plan to appeal the injunction. The judge's temporary ruling follows concerns raised by community members and Southampton town officials who filed 2 lawsuits alleging that impacts from traffic, noise, and other issues will negatively impact the quality of life for non-tribal members in nearby Hampton Bays. Tribal officials have long countered that the Westwoods land is theirs to use as they see fit. This is a developing story that will be updated at 27east.com as more information becomes available. And just in time for the arrival of spring, a grassroots group called Change Hampton is urging homeowners to take its landscaping pledge. The initiative is called 1,000 Healthy Yards, and its goal is exactly that, to encourage as many people as possible to commit to environmentally safe practices in landscaping their yards at home. This includes actions such as planting native trees, flowers, and shrubs, letting clover grow naturally, and avoiding pesticides, synthetic fertilizers, and other chemicals. Change Hampton says that, quote, a healthy yard means cleaner drinking water and saving marine life in our bays. Native plants mean thriving pollinators like butterflies and bees, and a more resilient environment for all. There are lawn signs available to those who participate in this effort. They've also got a new podcast coming out this season. You can find out more by sending an email to info@changehampton.org. The Bridgehampton Child Care and Recreational Center's Scrabble team is headed to a regional Connecticut competition in Connecticut this weekend, and it needs the community's help to get there. Since 2017, the center has participated in the School Scrabble program, which encourages language development and other skills through Scrabble. Bridgehampton's Scrabble Bees have made it to nationals in Washington, D.C. 4 times since then, and hopes to make it a 5th time after the regional tournament this weekend. You can visit the center's website at www.bhccrc.org to donate and support the Scrabble Bees' journey to nationals. Folks in Amagansett are lending a hand to help those in need. The Amagansett Library is holding a health and hygiene donation drive this month in support of The Retreat, a domestic violence shelter in East Hampton. From now through April 8th, the library will be collecting personal care items such as shampoo, conditioner, body wash, deodorant, menstrual hygiene products, and more. The library is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and the donation box can be found right inside the front lobby. A full list of items needed is available on the library's website. All donations will be given to the retreat for distribution to local families in need. Are you a healthcare professional looking for a new job? The newly built Stony Brook East Hampton Emergency Department will soon be opening its doors to the public, and it's in need of passionate professionals to join its team. A drop-in job fair will be held to give interested applicants the chance to meet the team and explore the available positions. Jobs such as registered nurses, imaging technologists, EMTs, custodians, and support staff are all available. The fair will be held at 400 Pantago Place in East Hampton from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Tuesday, April 1st and Wednesday, April 2nd. Bring your resume and find out how you can make an impact on the community. The national political climate changes every day, and hundreds of East End residents are getting involved with a group called Indivisible. Nearly 100 East End residents took part in a demonstration in East Hampton on March 14th, mirroring many others in Washington, D.C. and around the country that day. Indivisible in East Hampton, as the demonstration was called, urged solidarity for veterans, for democracy, and for the rule of law in general.
It was in support of democracy for all of us. People don't have to all agree with us. In fact, we're expecting people not to all to agree with all of us. But we need to all hang in there together. We all need to. Democracy needs all of us.
Not only was there a social and political message, but Ms. Burnside also said it felt good to gather together during this tumultuous time in history.
I thought we were all so glad to see each other and hear each other speaking up.
Of course, not everyone agrees with each other's political views these days. One local Republican official recognized the protesters' right to free speech, but suggested there are better ways to enact change.
That's not helpful. That's not helpful. We should be able to all get in a room and have an adult discussion, exchange of ideas and thoughts and opinions to try and reach compromise and solution.
According to the Indivisible organization, its groups are popping up in all 50 states, with followers numbering in the hundreds of thousands. However, East Hampton's Republican Committee chairman feels there's still been an attempt to shut down discourse locally.
It's a zero-sum game. It's all our way. We're right, you're wrong, and we know what's best for the future of East Hampton and our community and our society.
But on March 14th, going by the largely positive feedback, Ms. Burnside felt the demonstration got its message out.
There are lots of honks. Yeah, lots of thumbs up, a few middle fingers, but not that many middle fingers.
While we don't have a full community calendar for you this week, we do have a great report from our correspondent Dara Berger on a recent community event that benefited local students. Let's check it out.
This isn't your ordinary spaghetti and meatball Sunday night dinner preparation. These meatballs are being made to give kids in the community a scholarship.
We're raising money two ways this weekend. We're giving meals to Meals on Wheels and donations to Meals on Wheels. And our raffles earmarked towards our local high school scholarships. We have one vocational and one educational scholarship.
So Rotary International sponsors a club at the high school called the Interact Club. It's a club specifically for high school age, folks that want to be involved in the communities.
It is from this group of students who apply that the East Hampton Rotary Club chooses the 2 teens that will receive the educational and vocational scholarship. Much of the preparations were made possible by local catering company owner Annie Washburn, who donated the use of her kitchen.
So my dad was a 30-year Rotary member, and so I know about the mission and the work of Rotary and also the community building.
Meals on Wheels will be coming by to pick up dinners for their participants, and we'll be feeding them along with the volunteers that come out to bring them their food.
So there's an office in East Hampton, and people call the office and sign up for Meals on Wheels. It's supported by the community, so it's not a government program.
Fromm says that the Interact students will be at the American Legion Hall to help serve the 300 spaghetti and meatball dinners.
They know they're volunteering both to better the community, but also are gently rewarded with community service hours.
Dara Berger reporting in East Hampton for LTV East End News.
Did you know that LTV has an extensive collection of community videos stretching back more than 4 decades? Here's a little snippet of history in a segment we call Inside the Archive.
Inside the Archive is our weekly look back in time, thanks to the East Hampton Library's digital Long Island collection. Recognizing March as Women's History Month, we take a look back at how LTV celebrated the East End's hardworking community of women. In April of 1987, the American Association of University Women held a panel discussion from local professional women, where they talked about their experiences in the work field and how they got to where they are now.
What I'm doing now happened very haphazardly. I started out in teaching, and when I was getting out of school, I realized when I was student teaching that was not what I wanted to be in.
Then I have done everything from cleaning locker rooms, tutoring French, special assistant to the Speaker of the New York State Assembly.
I've been a nurse for 25 years, and I kept saying I really want to open my own office, and I want it to be in the Hamptons so that women have an alternative to gynecological care.
The panel highlights how their careers have helped women in the East End and how they've made a difference in the community, as well as the success, skills, joy, and independence that they've gained for themselves along the way.
I put out cookbooks. As I said, I did whatever I could do.
And everything that I give to women, I get back 100-fold. Women are terrific, and I'm just very, very happy with what I do.
The American Association of University Women continues to promote equity and education for women, address critical issues, and advocate for change across the country.
If you're going to sit and wait for somebody to come to you, you can sit there all your life.
Yeah, don't wait for the right time. There is no right time. You just have to do it.
For East End News, I'm Lisbeth Leon.
Our last segment for you this week comes with a special alert, a cuteness alert. Introducing our ARF Adoptable Pet of the Week.
Meet Lilac. She's an adorable 5-year-old domestic medium hair available for adoption at the Animal Rescue Fund of the Hamptons. Lilac is an independent kitty who, despite her mellow nature, enjoys being social and interacting with humans. She enjoys watching birds through the window, cuddles, and even singing, especially when she knows that food is on the way. Lilac is eager to find a forever home and a caring companion that will love and cherish her.
Thank you for watching East End News on LTV, delivering the news you need through the power of public access television. I'm Christine Samson, and we'll see you next week.